ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this talk. Let's start. So today we're talking about a very interesting subject, ladies and gentlemen, and this subject is called prolificness in business. Ladies and gentlemen, I have 74 people with cameras switched off. None of you will receive a certificate unless your video cameras are switched on by the count of 3. On the count of 3, your cameras must be switched on. Otherwise, you're not going to get a certificate. It's as simple as that. Your camera must be switched on. And if you switch it off, you must send me a message saying that you're at work. And then you must be able to show me that you're at work. You must still switch on your camera for attendance, but providing you send me a message saying you're at work, you can switch your camera off after attendance. Should I ask you to show me that you're at work and you can't show me, you'll be treated as absent. So on the count of 3, all cameras, regardless whether at work or not, must be switched on. Otherwise, you'll be treated as absent. All cameras must be switched on for attendance. Noted, Angeline. All right, on the count of 3. 1, 2, even if you're at work, your camera must be switched on for attendance. 1, 2, 3. If your camera is not switched on for attendance, you'll be treated as absent. If you're at work and you've sent me a message, you can switch off your camera after I've recorded attendance. For the last time, 1, 2, 3. Can we record attendance, please, Ms. Medina, on both rooms? Thank you. Even if you're at work, Christine, you must switch on your camera for attendance. You can switch it off after attendance is taken. Your final warning. Okay, guys, today we're talking about prolificness in business. What does it mean to behave with a sense of prolificness in business? Everybody here is prolific in their own way. Does anybody know what the word prolificness means? Does anyone know? Can you put up your hand if you know? Don't be shy. I'm here to teach. So if you do know what prolificness means, Evangeline, put up your hands. Anybody, put up your hand. I'll help you. Okay, who wants to try? Jackie. Hi, Jackie. Are you there? Unmute your microphone, Jackie. Talk to me. Hi, Jackie. Unmute your microphone. Can you unmute your microphone, Jackie? Hi, Jackie Joy. Okay, Jackie Joy is working. All right. Anybody else would like to tell me, what does prolificness mean? Can anyone tell me? What does prolificness mean? Let's talk to Dewey. Dewey Lukmana. Hi, Dewey. Can you unmute your microphone? Go ahead, Luke. Tell me, Dewey, what does prolific mean? Go ahead. Unmute your microphone, Dewey. Unmute your microphone. What does the word prolificness mean? Would you like to unmute your microphone, Dewey? Unmute your microphone, Dewey. Please, Dewey, if you want to talk, you have to unmute your microphone. Thank you. Okay, let's go to the next person. Maria, Christina. Hi, Maria. What does the word prolificness mean? Unmute your microphone, Maria. Good to see you again. Hi.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
Hello. Okay, prolificness, it is being having the drive or being inspired of doing what you do, or it is also having creativity to keep producing meaningful work.
Fantastic. You are on the right track, Maria. And you mentioned 2 words which are definitely trait of prolificness, creativity. Very good, Maria. Keep it up. I'll talk to you again shortly. Okay. Who else wants to tell me about prolificness? Okay. Who would like to try? Come on, guys. Anyone? Don't make me call on you. Okay. Let's talk to who? Okay. Nanda. Hi, Nanda. Luan, can you open your microphone, Nanda? Hi, Nanda. Unmute your microphone, Nanda. Are you there?
Yeah,
Hi, how are
I'm
you
here.
today?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. Do you understand what it means to be prolific?
Uh,
Don't be afraid. Just tell me what you think.
creative product
Right. Okay. And what? Okay, you're on the
I don't
right
have
track.
idea yet. Yeah.
Yeah, you have on the right track. Being creative. Thank you, Nanda. Good
Mhm.
effort. Thank you so much. One more. Irene Tarbin. Hi, Irene. Unmute your microphone. What does it mean to be prolific, Irene?
Yes, good afternoon, sir, classmates. Being prolific means to me is being very productive.
Good. One word. Give me 4 or 5 more. Productive is one. Anybody wanted to help? What else? Productive? Yeah, go on. Hold on. Stay there, Jennifer Rose. Okay. Hi, Jenna Rose. Can you help, Irene? Tell me. What's another one? Go.
Producing abundantly. Good afternoon, sir. Yes. Yes, sir. Hello, good afternoon. It's producing abundantly, sir.
Sir, your mic is muted. You have
Can
no
you hear me
sound.
now, Irene? Okay,
Yes,
my
sir.
mic wasn't muted. We fixed it. So let me go back. So Jen Rose said fruitfulness. We've had creative. We had productive. Is there any other words or traits being prolific? Can anybody give me another word or trait? Anyone else? Okay, very good. So let's talk about prolificness. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody here is prolific in their own way, shape, or form. Each one of you is prolific. Your appearance is different. The way you dress is different. The way we talk is different. Everybody is prolific in their own simple way, shape, or form. Everybody has a different level of productivity and energy, and you are all prolific in your own way, shape, or form. The lesson notes will only be shared at the end of the lesson, provided you stay in the lesson until the end. Thank you. So, being consistently productive is being prolific. Let me share my slides and let's learn how you can be prolific and what benefits will prolificness bring to your life and to your business. Let me share my slides. Thank you. Okay, can we share the slides in the second meeting, please, Ms. Medina? Thank you. Okay, all right. So what does prolificness mean, ladies and gentlemen? Well, it's simple English. It means being creative. It means being productive. It means being attentive. It means displaying leadership qualities. And it means, to a certain extent, being energetic. It means being fruitful. It means being factual. But in real terms, prolificness means ideas and ability. Because for you to be productive, you have to have ideas and you have to have ability. Let's talk about them in detail. So what is prolificness, girls? What is prolificness, ladies and gentlemen? Well, prolificness in business is a very simple trait. Prolificness refers to someone being very productive, very efficient, very innovative and creative, and being able to generate an abundance of new ideas, new products, and new services. Girls, every time you go out and you want to shop and you learn about a new makeup, and slowly you get to know that makeup and start wearing it, what is happening? You're becoming more innovative because in the past you never used to use that makeup, but now you've discovered a new makeup that appears to make you look younger and better. So no matter what we do or what behavior or action we perform, we will, in our own way, be contributing to a sense of prolificness. Prolificness is about an ability by a business entrepreneur to increase the energy in his business, increase sales, increase revenue, and increase profitability, while improving the quality of the output he's putting out to his customers and becoming more competitive. That means winning over customers from his competitors. So a prolific business consistently produces high quality products and services, which result in an efficient process of service to their customers. They are very efficient in planning new products, and they are very focused on empowering their employees to feel important. The more empowered your employees feel will lead the business to a greater sense of positive impact and success, let alone profitability. Let me tell you, as a prolific business leader, you should not worry about the cash register going click, click, click and money coming in. If you simply focus on delivering a more energetic level, more efficient and more productive level of service to your customers, and make that your priority, then the cash register will keep clicking. The minute you stop prioritizing what it takes to be prolific, that's when the cash register will stop. Does everybody understand that? Can everybody wave their hands for me? Everybody wave their hands? Come on, everyone. Very good. Excellent. Okay, so let's go on. Ladies and gentlemen, so prolificness in the 20th century. The 20th century, we're all alive today in the 20th century. Prolificness has had an impact brought to the world by several famous names. If you don't know who these names are, I'll tell you. Henry Ford, he's the man that created the Ford Motor Car Company and revolutionized the manufacturing and assembly line for the Ford Motor Car. Walt Disney, the man who built a global entertainment empire. Okay. Coco Chanel, you should all know, who transformed women's fashion girls. Thomas Edison, for inventing the light bulb many years ago before me and you were born. And of course, Steve Jobs, known by his full name, Stephen Paul Jobs. Does everybody know who Stephen Paul Jobs is? Can everybody wave their hands to me? Come on. Who knows Steve Jobs? Come on, guys, wave your hands. Good, excellent. Does anybody know who Walt Disney is? Wave your hands if you know Walt Disney. Let's go. Come on, Christine. Christine, you're wearing a Walt Disney headband with the little ears on it. So come on, you know Walt Disney. Wave your hand, Christine. Good girl, excellent. All right, so these people are prolific. They are the most prolific business people in the 20th century in no particular ranking. Now, if you ask yourself who was the most prolific, then history will go down to say that Stephen Paul Jobs was the most prolific leader amongst them in the 20th century. However, they were all prolific to an extent, and they were the most prolific out of hundreds of thousands of others who tried to beat them. Let's talk about the first one, Henry Ford. Henry Ford, guys, was an American industrialist and business magnate. He was the founder of the Ford Motor Company in the United States. He is credited as a pioneer in making automobiles affordable for middle-class Americans through the system that came to be known as Fordism. Fordism is Henry Ford's business ideal about producing quality cars at the lowest prices. And you'll learn about Fordism in a future lesson when we talk about business strategies and business styles. Okay, so everybody knows the Ford motor car, right? You've all heard of Ford, correct? Okay, so let's go to another prolific businessman. This is Walter alias Disney. He doesn't look like Mickey Mouse, and he doesn't look like Donald Duck, right, guys? He looks like a normal man. Walter alias Disney was an American animator. He was a film producer, he did voiceovers, and he became an entrepreneur. A pioneer of American animation industry, he introduced several developments in production of cartoons using animation. As you know, Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, when you watch them on television, that is all animated cartoon. It's done by animation. There is no such thing as a real Donald Duck. Donald Duck is an imaginary figure created by animation. As a film producer, he holds records for the most Academy Awards won and nomination by any American film producer in the world. And he is still the holder of a record number of Academy Awards unto today. He was prolific. And when we learn about the elements of prolificness, I'm going to ask you to tell me why he was prolific. Thomas Alva Edison, an American inventor and businessman. He developed many devices such as electric power generation, motion pictures, and the light bulb. And last but not least, the man you all know, Stephen Paul Jobs. You all know him by his short name, Steve Jobs. You've learned something today, Christine. You're going to go home and tell everybody, I know what Steve Jobs' real name was. It was Stephen Paul Jobs. So if you guys are looking for a boyfriend who's going to be successful, look for somebody with the name Stephen Paul. There you go. There's my suggestion for today. All right. Stephen Paul Jobs, Steve Jobs, was an American businessman. He was an inventor, investor, best known for co-founding Apple Inc. Jobs was also the founder of Next and chairman and majority shareholder of Pixar, which he went on to build as one of the world's, two of the world's most successful companies before he sold them to Apple so he could go back as chairman of the board at Apple. He became a millionaire at 23 before Apple's IPO and amassed a net worth of 10 billion by his death. Steve Jobs was a billionaire, not a millionaire, but a billionaire. All right, does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Wave your hands if you understand what a billionaire means. Very good. Now, all of these people were prolific in their own way. Now, let's talk about Steve Jobs. His business prolificness stems from traits including being relentless, innovative. He had a passion for perfection, unwavering vision that inspired teams, so he was creative, and extreme focus for making things simple to understand. And he had excellent leadership style, which meant he was hands-on. Most of all, he was imaginative. He was creative. He was not afraid to take risks, and he was very skilled about imagining things and bending reality. Who would have thought that the iPhone, the i17 today, would ever be created with such technology? Some 10 years ago, this technology was unheard of. People told Steve Jobs he could never put it into an iPhone, but he bent reality. He went against reality and proved to the world through creativity that it could be done. All right, so when we think of this, guys, in previous lessons, we talked about types of leadership, and we spoke about transactional leadership, charismatic leadership, and transformational leadership. Well, today, what you're going to learn about prolificness very much relates to transformational leadership. Do you remember that, Miss Seitai? You remember when we learned about transformational leadership? Yes or no? Ali? Smile, Ali. That's it. Show me your wave. Good girl. Excellent. Okay. All right. All right. So remember, transformational leadership fosters prolificacy or prolificness. Okay. So prolificacy and prolificness are the same verb, the same thing. Okay. To be prolific, the verb to be prolific, or prolificacy, the noun, or prolificness are both the same meaning. Okay, so fosters prolificacy and prolificness, not as a leadership attribute, but as positive outcome, meaning it leads to a high rate of success. So just like transformational leaders usually create a high rate of success, innovation, growth, and performance in their organizations, by being prolific, it means you actually deliver on those words. You're very successful, you're very innovative, you're very creative, you're eccentric, and you are focused on growth and high performance, high productivity. All right, so let's look at transformational leadership as such. What is transformational leadership? Well, let's start from the top. The first element that you need to remember is intellectual stimulation. Yes, Nanda, intellectual stimulation. You need to open your brain every morning when you brush your teeth and ask yourself, what do I need to be motivated today? All right, okay? All right. You need to be innovative. You need to think of new ideas. You need to think out of the box. Don't think like your mother and father thought in the 19th century or at the beginning of the 20th century. You cannot live on stereotype. You have to be an individual, each and every one of you. You have to set yourself goals and you have to work towards achieving those goals. And those goals cannot be simple. They must challenge you. They must be goals that will require you to be innovative, to require you to be eccentric, to require you to come up with new ideas, which will make you better than the others. Does everybody understand that? Do you understand that, Nanda? Thank you. The other part that we have to take into consideration when we're transformational and we're trying to be what we call extremely transformational, we have to have individualized consideration. Individualized consideration means you have to be open to being mentored and mentorship. You have to display a sense of empathy in the way you behave with people. You must set yourself a purpose for what you're doing. And you must develop a strength and skills in the area of business you're pursuing. You need to have individualized consideration in order to be prolific. Prolificness will not come without transformational leadership ingredients, and individualized consideration is one of the fundamental ones. It's like when you bake a chocolate cake without cocoa. It's no longer a chocolate cake, it's a vanilla cake. Is that right, Irene? Okay. Do you like chocolate cake, Irene? Put up your hand. Great. Okay. All right. Let's go on. Medina likes chocolate cake. Medina, do you like chocolate cake? Wave your hand, Medina. Very good. Okay. The next sense of prolificness, or the next ingredient of prolificness, just like chocolate cake, we need self-raising flour, we need chocolate powder, is what we call idealized influence. Well, let's talk about this. Idealized influence is your ability to believe in a role model or for you to be somebody else's role model. And believe me, if you want the perfect role model in business, Stephen Paul Jobs should be your role model. He actually accrued a fortune of over $10 billion. Does everybody understand that? This is his personal fortune, not the corporate, the personal fortune. Okay, role model, walk the walk of life. Okay, so when we say walk the walk, you don't just tell people what to do, but you show them. You walk the walk, talk the talk, okay? So if you talk, you must be able to walk. If you walk the talk, then you'll be successful, all right? But if you just talk and never walk and never become hands-on and show them, you will fail. No one plans to fail. People fail to plan on how to be successful. Do you all understand this? Yes or no? Do you all understand this? Christelle? Christelle Basco? Do you understand that, Christelle? Good, excellent. Thank you, Christelle. Okay, all right. All right, so once we've covered that, the final ingredient of the chocolate cake, whether it's the eggs or the milk or the cream, whichever you use to make chocolate cake, is what we call inspirational motivation. You must have a clear vision. You must know exactly what you want to achieve. You must have a sense of optimism that you believe in future success. You always have to be optimistic, no matter how many failures or lessons you endure along the way. You must feel a sense of inclusion and you must be productive. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Wave your hands if you understand. Come on. Very good. So these 4 core group of ingredients are not only critical in transformational leadership, but they serve as the backbone, the salt or pepper of prolificness. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Wave your hands, please. Thank you. All right. So what is the relationship, ladies and gentlemen, between prolificness and transformational leadership? What is the relationship? Could you change slides, please, Ms. Medina? Thank you, ma'am. All right, so what is the relationship? Transformational leaders achieve this by inspiring employees through a shared vision, motivating them, stimulating their creativity, making them feel eccentric, making them feel important, and inviting them to act as the brand's role models. That's why everybody who works for Apple must use an iPhone. They must be the role model for the company. Can you imagine working for Apple and using a Nokia? Can you imagine Irene working for Apple, going to the office every day carrying a Samsung? Would you be proud of that, or you'd be disgraced, right? You'd be ashamed, correct? Okay. Can you imagine working in a trendy nightclub and wearing your grandma's dresses? You wouldn't, they'd fire you, right? You couldn't keep the job. So in order to be prolific, you must be able to stimulate creativity. You must be able to inspire people with your vision, your picture. You must be optimistic, and you must make sure you walk the talk. That means whatever you talk, you lead by example. Okay, everybody understand that? All right, so let's look at the psychology in transformational leadership. Now, guys, this is not hard, so don't give me a dirty look, all right? So, okay, before we look at that, let's just 1 moment, please. Let's just go back here and ask, does everybody understand what transformational leadership is? Do you all understand the core ingredients? Yes or no? Does everybody understand it? Yes or no? All right, so core ingredients of prolificness are very much the same as the core of transformational leadership. Medina, could you put down the slide and let me see everybody again, please? Thank you. Okay, so when you talk about prolificness and when you talk about the relationship between prolificness and transformational management, as a transformational leader, you cannot do it without being prolific, and you cannot be prolific without adapting transformational leadership mentality. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? All right, I'm going to use an example that I always use because I have more women than men in this session. So guys, do not get upset because I'm using the girls as an example, all right? Okay, I want you to think, ladies, everybody, all of you think. If you're out looking for a new boyfriend, okay, everybody understand that? Show me your thumb. You're out looking for a new boyfriend, hypothetically. Don't be shy, just put up your thumb, okay? If you're out looking for a new boyfriend, You are looking just for any boyfriend? No. You have a certain picture in your mind of the type of boyfriend you're looking for, right? Yes or no? That is a sense of you being prolific because you have already got an image of the standard you want in your mindset, right? Yes or no? You expect that person to have a certain amount of income. You expect him to be working and not rely on you. You expect him to be able to afford to take you out and buy you a Louis Vuitton bag every 6 months, hopefully. You expect someone that can buy you a house so you don't have to live with your mother and father anymore. You expect someone who can say to you, oh, dear, you don't have to work. I'll work. You be a housewife and go shopping every day. Isn't that what you all aim for? It doesn't always happen, but that's what you all aim for, right? Yes or no? But each of you is prolific in their own way. Each of you is prolific in their own sense. But at the end of the day, you all, as females, have a goal. Secure a boyfriend who will one day love me so I can marry him. Is that right? Wave your hands. Hypothetically, I'm not saying it's you. I'm just saying hypothetically. All right? Very good. You all agree with that? Yes or no? Now, you might ask me, was I prolific? Does everybody know Wally's story? You know Wally's story? Who knows Wally's story? I was prolific. I was stupid. I was stupid. I ran away from home at the age of 18. My parents were millionaires. My father was very stingy and would always yell at me for wasting my money on $900 Versace t-shirts. And every night he'd say, you silly boy, instead of saving money and becoming a millionaire like your father, I give you pocket money and you spend it on t-shirts. Why don't you go and buy a $5 t-shirt? But I was prolific. I was eccentric. And I wanted to look the appearance that I felt with my long blonde curly hair back then, like Bon Jovi and my blue eyes when I was young. I wanted to stand out. I was prolific. I had an image that I wanted to create for myself. So I came home one night and my father called me silly. So I went into my room, cried for an hour, then told my mother and father I was going to stay with a friend. But I wasn't. I ran away. I never came back. I didn't see my parents for 3 years. Okay, do you all understand that? 3 years. I moved to New South Wales, to Sydney. I got myself a job cleaning toilets at McDonald's to pay for university. I used to work for $3 an hour cleaning shit from dirty toilets. So I had rich school kids come and say, hey, silly boy, come and clean my table. Hey, boy, come and take my tray. But there was nothing I could do. I chose that job. And they didn't know who I was. They didn't know how well educated I was, but I had to shut my mouth and do the job in order to make money to pay for my food and accommodation and go to university. Well, 3 days after that, I was asked to become the shift manager at night, the store manager at night, and I could work at night and study during the day. And I got just as much salary as what I had in pocket money. I graduated top of my class, right? But Wally was prolific. Wally was prolific because any kid with a brain would not run away from home to work at McDonald's cleaning toilets. Would you agree with me or not? Yes or no? I'm crazy, right? I was crazy. I'm not crazy anymore. Does everybody understand what I mean by the example of prolificness? All right, good. So let's go back to our lesson. Okay, here we go, guys. Let's share the lesson again, please, Miss Medina. Okay, here we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about the psychology of being prolific or prolificness, as we call it, the psychology is the same as that of transformational leadership. And first thing is you have to lead by example and set expectations. And this is what we call idealized influence, as I told you. Number two, you have to encourage learning and growth. You have to have the ability to stimulate people intellectually in the words you use. Number three, at the bottom of the circle is individualized consideration, which we just spoke about, which means coaching and empowering yourself and the people around you for success. Everybody must have the psychological attitude, success, success, success. And the fourth final quadrant of the wheel is what we call inspirational motivation. Inspiring to go to new heights. All right, these are the psychological elements or psychological barriers that a lot of failed leaders can't adapt. Do you all understand this, ladies and gentlemen? Okay. Does everybody understand what I mean by this? Can everybody wave their hand to me? Again, I am giving out another warning. If you are truly at work, you better be able to prove to me and show me that you're at work if I call on you. If not, I'll be removing you from the attendance, okay? All right, so does everybody understand what I've said? Okay, so psychology. If you cannot motivate people or lead by example, walk the walk, to influence people to be productive, then the people who work for you will not be productive. Remember, the only way for people to be motivated is for you as an employer to empower them, which means influence them. Does everybody understand this? Yes or no? Very good. Let's go to the next slide. Just one moment, please. Okay, next slide. We're talking here, just hold on, guys. Okay, next slide. We're talking here about also transformational leadership. Now, listen, I know you might think this is second year PhD psychology. It's not, it's basic psychology, okay? So mediating influences. You as a leader, transformational leader, all right, have to be able to provide the people who work for you meaningful work, empower them. You have to build a sense of trust in them. You have to let them feel self-efficiency, that they're important to your organization. You have to provide them a work-life balance and social support. Okay. You should provide them workplace spirituality where when they come to work, they feel like they're an important part of the team. You must ensure their involvement and influence. You must ensure your involvement and influence walk the walk. You must be empathetic, listening and making sure they feel a sense of psychological safety or security, that they come to work every day and they enjoy being at work. And they must feel a climate for innovation, a climate where they can be innovative, they can show their creativity. They don't want to be told, don't talk, don't say anything, just do the job. Don't tell us if you can do it better, we're not interested. That means you're blocking their creativity. The outcome. If you are able to provide the mediating influence factors psychologically, the outcome will be your employees will be psychologically more comfortable. They will be more empowered to get up and go to work full of energy. And they will have what we call the cognitive well-being state. That means their state of thinking or their attitude towards work will be all-rounded. They feel empowered, they feel important, and they feel like they have a sense of responsibility in the job they're doing. Psychomatic well-being, well, basically psychomatic well-being is that they feel comfortable or happy when they go to work. Okay, so let's go down and let's summarize these, all right? Transformational leadership, as we said, is very much a core ingredient of being prolific. However, if we compare transformational leadership and transactional leadership, it's a bit different. Transactional leadership is not an essence of being prolific. What do we mean by this? Prolificness and transformational leadership are similar. It's a leadership style where the leader uses charisma, enthusiasm to actually stimulate their followers. Exactly what Jobs did, exactly what we've spoken about. Concept. The leader emphasizes the followers' values, ideals, morals, and needs. Again, nature. You have to be active, walk the walk. Best for turbulent environment. Transactional leadership is for a busy factory in China where they know they just have to produce 10,000 pieces a day. Nothing changes. Very mechanical. But in transformational leadership, where you have to lead people to build the business and keep the business productive and full of energy and retain your clients, customer retention, you need to have transformational leadership. Your style of leadership should be charismatic. Remember, I said earlier, we studied about transformational leadership and charismatic leadership before. How many leaders can be there? You need more than one, not just one, because one would be transactional and you would certainly not be practicing prolificness at its fullest extent. And you should be focused on innovation. Remember, we said creativity and innovation are the core ingredient of prolificness. Steve Jobs had incredible creativity and sense of innovation and a vision for what he wanted. He wanted to bring to reality things that people said were unrealistic. Do you all remember what we read about Steve Jobs? Wave your hands. Are you there, Ria? Wave your hand. Good, excellent. And last but not least, the motivational tool. Transformational leaders attract supporters by focusing on the interests of the company, not by focusing on their own interests because this person will take a cheaper salary. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Yes or no? Very good. All right, so let's look at this diagram. And again, this diagram is not complex PhD stuff, guys. Don't worry, let me explain it. So transformational leadership requires innovation. It requires cognitive identification, being able to satisfy all the sense of psychological security the people who work for you are, set them clear goals, clear vision, clear picture of what you expect of them, and have them believe in it. Okay, transformational leadership requires innovation and orientation. Okay, and part of innovation and orientation means having goals in place. But if it's a transactional contingent reward, so what do we mean by that? So we're not talking about transactional leadership here. We're talking about transformational leadership. So what we're saying is transformational leadership not only leads to innovation and orientation or requires that, but it also needs to goal orientation. So the goals you set for your company must be innovative and must be goals that can be achieved. And based on that, at the top line, you need cognitive identification, meeting all your staff's psychological thoughts and making sure that they believe in what they're doing or understand the importance of what they're doing and feel peace of mind. And then it becomes what we call effective identification. Let me explain what I mean by that. If your staff are innovative and creative, they have goals that they understand and follow, and you've understood all their mental thinking or thought process, chain of process, what you've done is you've effectively identified the way they think. And what you've done is satisfied their thinking, satisfied their hunger for information. Now, once you've achieved this diagram, which you may be achieving subconsciously without knowing you're achieving it, what you will do is you will put in place a sense of transformational leadership, which means prolificness as a leader and as an organization. So let's look at the individual ingredients of prolificness as you should learn them starting today. Number one, you need to have a high sense of productivity. You have to be able to prioritize tasks, manage your time effectively, and maintain high level of energy and output. You have to walk the walk, not just talk. All right? Productivity is the trait of consistently creating significant quantity of high quality work or output. All right, and this usually comes from a high level of creativity or eccentricity, efficiency, and a deep love for the work itself. Now, remember, people will only love the work if you've met or identified their cognitive thinking. Prolific individuals exhibit high output, leading to mastery, innovation, and success by using productivity tools to create free time and then leveraging that time to fuel their creative output. Let's go on. The next ingredient of prolificness, guys, is what we call creativity. Creativity. Let's switch off the PowerPoint for a while and let's go back. Can anybody tell me, what does creativity mean? Who can give me an example? I know Medina can, but she knows the answer. So let me ask someone else. Come on, give me an idea. What does creativity mean? Come on, guys. No, I can't ask Medina, guys. Medina knows the answer. Come on. She knows the material. Give me an answer. What is creativity? Yes, Irene, what is creativity? Irene?
Hello, creativity is the ability to think a new way and originality, sir.
Very good. So, Irene, let me ask you, if you went out with your girlfriend, okay, and you both want the same boyfriend, would that be creative? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
No, absolutely not. That means one of you is not being prolific, because if you're prolific, you should want better, right? Yes or no? Would you agree with me, Irene? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm just motivating you, Irene, hypothetically.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. Good stuff. Maria, do you agree with me, Maria Christina Lim? You're smiling, so you agree with me. Good to hear you. What about you, Mary Len Estampador? You agree with me too. Nice to see you, Mary. Okay. So remember, guys, being creative is going against the tradition. All right. Being stereotyped, breaking away from the norm. Do you understand that? Yes or no? Come on, guys. Millions of people think they can open coffee shops. Come on, go to any country. Go to the Philippines, go to Vietnam, go down to Australia, come to Singapore. Everybody thinks, wow, everybody's making money out of selling coffee and cakes. So can I. But you see, these people are not thinking. How can you copy Starbucks coffee when Starbucks grow their own coffee beans in South America? They have contracts with coffee farmers that you can't buy from. Can everybody see me? Great. I'm back. All right. I think you guys dropped off for some reason, but we're back. All right. So what we're saying here is prolificness is more than just thinking you know what it is. Creativity, as I said, people think they can open coffee shops like Starbucks, but what they forget is Starbucks roasts its own coffee beans. They grow their coffee beans in South America. They actually have contracts with the farmers that no one else can buy from. So no matter what you do, even if you sell espresso, it's never going to taste like coffee, like Starbucks. It's going to be different. So those people who have this wild idea that I can open a coffee shop and decorate it
Can everybody hear me now? Okay, good. Thank God internet providers are not prolific. All right, so let's go back to what we were saying. So we said that people try to become coffee makers or coffee distributors, and they're not prolific because they say, if Starbucks sell coffee, so can I. But that's not true. Would you all agree with that, guys? It's not true, because being prolific is coming up with a product that's better than your competitors. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Yes or no? Put your hands up, everyone. Okay, so creative. The way we dress is creative. We each have a prolific sense of identity when we dress up. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? All right, when we go to work, the way we behave at work is our own sense of behavior. Again, that's our cognitive mental attitude, or the way we behave is individual. That contributes to us being prolific. Does everybody understand this? Yes or no? Come on, smile at me, guys, please. Come on. Let Wally know that, you're happy. It's not my fault the internet broke out, guys. Come on, it's never happened before. Come on, guys. Okay, so being prolific is being creative, innovative, eccentric. Do you remember we said that being eccentric is being different, being one off? Does everybody understand that? And that is the power that you have to bring to creativity. Does everybody understand me? Yes or no? Wave your hands. Come on. All of you. Good. Excellent. Let me share my slides again. Just one moment, please. Okay, just one moment, guys. Let me just share my slides. Hold on. Okay, guys, here we go. Okay, can everybody see my slides? Of course you can. Okay, let's just go back to the slide. Okay, so we're talking about creativity, guys. Creativity. And we said that creativity is thinking outside the box to generate innovative ideas and solutions. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Yeah? Thinking out of the box, being creative, coming up with new ways. Do you understand that, everyone? Yeah? Benza, do you understand that? Bianca? Yeah? Christelle? Very good. Excellent. Okay, so creativity usually fuels prolificness by providing a constant flow of ideas, things that are new, things that will motivate not you, but your team to become more productive. Remember, it's all about a high sense of productivity. Key creative traits like idea generation, problem solving, openness to new experiences, being adaptable, ability to connect to different concepts, ability to interpret things in a new way, not do it the way it was done previously, the ability to break away from the norm. If people serve coffee in a cup, serve it in a glass. If people serve it in a glass and a cup, serve it in a bowl. Be creative, find new ways to do things. Okay, now remember, while creativity can seem like a trait, it is also a cultivated habit. And creativity is one of those ingredients that you must have in prolificness. Just without a chocolate cake, if you take out the chocolate, it's no longer a chocolate cake. All right, let's go on. So we've done the first one, productivity. We've spoken about creativity. The next one is being resilient, resilience. Resilience, guys, is the capacity to bounce back from setbacks, failures, and challenges. Does everybody understand this? Yes or no? Yeah? It's the ability to bounce back. It's the ability not to let things lose your confidence, not to let things set you back. And you shouldn't make mistakes and then think that you're not good enough. You should learn from your mistakes. Remember, we said that prolificness requires a sense of empathy, and that means being able to learn from your mistakes and move forward. So resilience, guys, is another basic ingredient. To make a chocolate cake, you need the chocolate powder and you need flour. So resilience is the flour. It's a key trait for maintaining prolificness, a state of being successful and flourishing, because you're constantly innovative and you're constantly creative. You're constantly focused on having challenges, doing things that are new and stimulating, and you're prepared. You're cognitively, mentally strong enough to actually learn from your mistake. All right. So you have to be resourceful. You have to make sure you have a strong support network of people around you that you lead, walk the walk. Okay. Allowing them to learn and allowing them to feel empowered. This is all part of resilience. If you don't empower your people because you're feeling insecurity, then you're not prolific. So what is resilience? How does resilience support prolificness? One, being resilient means adapting to adversity. Adversity. So what does that mean? You're able to recover from your mistakes. You're able to fix things if you have problems along the way. You have to be resourceful. I know Medina's resourceful. When she wants to go out and buy dinner, she knows exactly where to go out and buy dinner. She knows every restaurant. You know, last time we went out in Singapore and she looked at the menu, and I tell you what, she knew the dish and the best dish. And since then, I can't find it on the menu anywhere else. That's called a sense of resourcefulness, okay? Resourcefulness is having knowledge or knowing where to look for things and how to navigate through certain situations. The next one is positive mindset. Come on, look at me. I have a positive mindset. The internet dropped for 3 seconds. I didn't panic. I reconnected. I put the VPN on and I reconnected straight away. All right. So a positive mindset means developing optimistic thinking power, being able to always think. All right. Walk the walk, help the people around you, and drive your perspective. Do not let them feel worried or insecure. And next one down the page is something you should all know. Come on, girls. Every time you go out with a new boyfriend, or boys, every time you try to find a new girlfriend, new wife, you have to overcome the most elementary element of resilience, problem solving. Her mother wants 500 people at the wedding. Your mother and father want 1,000 people at the wedding. Both you and the bride don't have enough money to pay for 1,000 people at the wedding. Problem solving. How are you going to convince your parents and her parents to help you pay for the wedding, or to reduce the number of people they want to invite? That's one of the biggest elements of resilience a bride and groom face. Just to give you some academic facts, most boyfriend girlfriend don't get married, and one of the biggest reasons why is because their parents can't agree on the wedding or the future. And that's one of the biggest breakup rates, next to cheating on the other party, one party cheating on the other, or anything else. The only other major factor, according to research, is the bride and groom, potential bride and groom, are unable to save or solve the hurdles that their parents are setting for them. So they decide to walk away. Does everybody understand that simple example? Problem solving is a key to resilience. Support networks. For you to be resilient, you have to have a network of people that you can talk to and get advice from. And last but not least, you have to have a mindset that you want to grow and become successful. I want everybody to say after me. Can we close out the slides, please? Everybody look at me and say after me. You have to believe in yourself. You have to set yourself goals for success, right? Do you all agree that? I want you all to say it loud at the top of your voice. I believe in myself. Everyone, come on. I believe in myself. Okay. I can be successful. Everyone? Come on, I don't see your lips moving, Marie Joy. I don't see your lips moving, Juvie. Come on. Jennifer, you have to stay in the class and listen. Okay, Anna Marie, say it. I can be successful. Very good. Excellent. So, guys, believing in yourself and believing in success is a part of resilience because you have to walk the walk. The minute you stop believing in yourself, then you'll fail. You're no longer prolific. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Yes or no? Christelle? Are you okay, Christelle? Very good. Okay. Let's share. Thank you, guys. Thank you for confirming that. That's it. Show me your hands. I believe in myself. Let's do it, guys. Very good. Okay. All right, good. Let me share my slides again, please. Miss Medina? Okay. All right. So growth orientation, it's fundamental to your success. And without growth orientation, you will fail. And that's a fact. All right. So just give me a minute, guys. Okay. Just one moment, please. Okay, so growth orientation. Let's go to the next one. All right. Now, remember I said to you here, these are how resilience supports prolificness. So for you to be resilient, you have to be able to adapt to adversity. You have to be resourceful. You have to have a positive mindset, and you have to be able to solve problems. If you're a prolific person, you should be able to do this. These are parts of prolificness. And if you're resilient, you need to have these qualities. Okay, so let's go on. Support networks and goal orientation. Okay, so now let's talk about a resilient personality. In order for you to be resilient, you have to be like me, outspoken. You have to be like Medina, outspoken. You have to be like Steve Jobs, outspoken. Let's talk about that. The ability to manage emotions constructively is very important. Emotional regulation. Flexibility, adapting to changing circumstances and finding new ways to approach problems is extremely important. Self-awareness is extremely important. Understanding one's own strengths and weaknesses to better life's challenges. Being curious is a trait, it's a personality trait. You're either curious or you're not interested. You have to be curious. You have to be aware of your own strengths and weaknesses. You cannot be afraid of admitting your own strengths and weaknesses. You have to be adaptable to flexibility and change, girls. For example, if tomorrow you find out your boyfriend's cheating on you, you have to be adaptable and prepared to dump him and tell him to get lost, block him and find a new boyfriend. And you have to be able to regulate your emotions. Does everybody understand what I mean by that? Yes or no? Does everybody understand what I mean by that? Yes or no? Yes or no? Does everybody understand it? Good. Okay. So if we understand it, guys, all right, we understand it. What we need to do now is try to put it in our mind that resilience not only requires traits, but it requires a sense of mindset. You have to think in a certain way. Do you understand that, everyone? Yes or no? Okay, good. Let me share my screen again. Just give me a minute, guys. Okay, hold on. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we've covered this. Let's go on. Next one is what we call adaptability. Adaptability. Adaptability, ladies and gentlemen, is your willingness to adjust to changing times, your willingness to adjust to changing circumstances. You need to be able to move with the times. Therefore, if the market changes and the market wants a better product or service or cheaper product or service, you have to be able to deliver without being afraid. Akpuaka Ifwanya, you need to switch on your camera. Akpuaka Ifyunanya, I do not have a message from you saying you're working. Your camera has to be switched on, otherwise you will not receive a certificate. Thank you. Okay. Apuaka Ifyuanya, keep your camera switched on. Do not switch it off again, otherwise you will not receive a certificate. Okay. All right. So remember the adaptability, your ability to be adaptable, your ability to be able to deal with problems, your ability to adjust your product or services to actually do better than your competitor is a must, because without adaptability, you will not remain in business. Does everybody know the average lifespan of a company? Does anybody know what the average lifespan of a company is? Well, let me tell you, a business on average will survive somewhere between 5 and 6 years without creating new products or being innovative. If a company creates new product or is innovative, they can go up to 10 to 12 years. Sometimes companies have to rebrand after 10 or 11 years because they failed to deliver the promise to their customers. They've delivered a customer credibility gap, whether it's in improving product and innovating or in the level of service. So that's why for you to be prolific, you have to be adaptable. The next one is proactivity. Proactivity. What is proactivity? Can we change a slide, please, Miss Medina? Okay, proactivity, ladies and gentlemen, is taking the initiative and anticipating opportunities and being proactive in pursuing goals. What does proactivity mean? Proactivity means not waiting for something to happen, but doing it before it happens. For example, girls, if you know your mother's sick, take her to a doctor before she gets really sick and has to go to hospital. Would you agree with that, girls? Wave your hands if you agree. Come on. Wave your hands, Marites. Good. Excellent. Thank you, Mary. What about you, Jonathan? Do you agree? If your mother's sick, should you take her to the doctor, Jonathan? Jonathan Abalos? Hi, Jonathan. Unmute your microphone, Jonathan. Hello, talk to me. Are you there, Jonathan? Hi, Jonathan. Do you understand today's lesson, Jonathan?
Yes, sir, Wally.
Can't hear you. Are you there, Jonathan? Don't be shy, mate. Okay, so remember, proactivity or being proactive is critical. Next one is the ability to think strategically. What do we mean by thinking strategically, everyone? What does strategic thinking mean? It means the ability to plan, to analyze, and to make informed decisions without being afraid. Strategic thinking means fostering prolificness. For you to think strategically, you must have the elements of prolificness, creativity, innovation. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Wave your hands if you understand, Maria Corazon. Mary Len. Maritas, where are you, Maritas? You're not in front of your camera, Maritas. You should be attending the lesson. Please focus. All right. Sit in front of the camera and learn, please. All right. So remember, strategic thinking is about challenging the norm, challenging assumptions. Remember, if you assume anything in business, we say you're being an ass. No business person should accept assumptions. You should always challenge assumptions and try to prove them to be real. And how do you do that? By you being proactive, by you being able to think strategically and say, well, in real terms, will this assumption work or not? Do not just assume without thinking it through. And to do that, you need analytical skills, and you need to look deeper than the surface. You need to ask yourself why. Remember we learnt the 5 W's of problem solving? Remember that, Mary Len? Mary Len? Thank you. All right. All right. Let's go on. So, strategic thinking. Then we have risk taking. Willingness to take calculated risks to achieve business objectives. Well, if you're not prepared to take risk, you will never be a millionaire. Steve Jobs or Stephen Paul Jobs took risk. Okay? Because if he didn't take risks in his innovation of the iPhone today, there would be no Apple. He would never have accumulated $10 billion. All right? Do you understand that? He took risks. Continuous learning, folks. Everybody learns. We learn day after day after day. You ask my colleague, my assistant, Miss Medina, she learns something new every day. Every time she comes to BizTalk, on Monday, she comes up with new ideas because of what she learned in BizTalk. Am I right, Medina? Yes? So on Monday, Medina is going to have new ideas about what we can add to our classes because she's going to go away and think creatively. And that's what I expect of all of our students today. I expect today to be a new page in your life. And I expect you to change your life from being the boring, dull life that you lead now by going to sleep, waking up every day, eating, going to the toilet, going to work, getting a salary. I want you to bring a sense of prolificness into your life so your life can improve. Does everybody understand that? Can you all wave your hands? All right, good. Continuous learning is about your commitment to ongoing learning, your commitment to improve yourself minute after minute, hour after hour, day after day. You need to stay up to date with industry. Marites, you're having lunch. What are you eating, Marites? Tell me, what are you eating? Miss Medina's hungry too. Medina, our students having lunch. What is it, Marites?
I'm taking my dinner.
I can't hear you. Speak up.
Dinner, sir, dinner.
Hold on,
Eating the
Marites.
dinner.
I can't hear you. Hold on. Okay, all right. Okay, good on you, Marites. Enjoy your lunch. Okay, can everybody hear me? Yes or no? Great, excellent. Can you hear me, Medina? Good, excellent. Enjoy lunch, Marites. Okay, all right. So remember, continuous learning. All right, guys, let's go on. Networking. Networking is also critical, guys. Networking is also critical. Does everybody understand what networking is? Yes or no? Networking is having people or contacts that you can leverage on, having relationships that you can talk to and get advice from. Because remember, networking requires you to be adaptable. All right. So remember we talked about adaptability. You have to be adaptable. You have to be able to change with times. And therefore, being adaptable means you need to be able to have a network of people in the same industry. You need to trust them and talk to them sometimes and get ideas on how you can adapt in order to survive or keep the business afloat. All right. And the next one is one word that Steve Jobs brought out every day. Focus. Focus. I'm going to ask you all a question. Let's stop sharing. I want to ask all of you today, I want you to look in the mirror and ask yourself, are you focused on your life? Who can answer yes? Put your hand up. If you're focused on your life and your goals, put your hand up now. Jewels, are you focused? Put your hand up. Thank you. What about you, Maribel Rosario? Are you focused or are you lost? Melita, are you focused? Angel, are you focused? I know Medina's focused. I know I'm focused. What about you, Alicia? Aileen? Come on, guys, put your hands up. I'm getting worried here. Everybody, hands up. Hands up. Very good. Christine, I love your headpiece. Christine, can you buy one and send it to me, please? I'll transfer the money to you. My 8-year-old daughter would love that. I'm going to show her the picture tonight, all right? Okay, I promise you. Nice to see you. All right, so everybody, you have to be focused on your life. And what does it mean to be focused? Being focused is what we're talking about today. Number one, believing in yourself, being creative, being resilient, being able to control your emotions, not crying for 2 days just because your boyfriend cheated on you. Remember, there's plenty of boys in the world. There'll never be a shortage, trust me. If one guy cheats on you, find another. Do you understand what I mean by leaving your emotions behind? Yes or no? I'm only saying this hypothetically. I'm not telling you to leave your boyfriends, okay? Hypothetically. Hypothetically. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Nien, do you understand what I mean by that? Hypothetically, Nien. Okay, good. All right. Okay. So it's just like going to a restaurant, Deanne. You go to a restaurant and the steak is no good. You have two choices. You tell the waiter to take it back and get another one. You walk out and don't pay for it, or you never go back, right? Everybody has a choice, but we don't cry over it. What's the point of crying over it, right? Yes or no? Can I tell you my story? Now Medina's going to laugh at me. I shouldn't tell you this story, but I'm going to tell you anyway. When I was young, your age, my first love was the love of my life, right? And she dumped me to marry a doctor. I cried for 4 days. I locked myself in a room. I bought whiskey. I bought chocolate ice cream, Kit Kat, and Mars bars. And I stayed in my room 4 days. I didn't go out into fresh air. And for 4 days, I ate, drank, and slept and thought the world was at an end, that the love of my life has disappeared. But after 4 days, I woke up and I realized that, you know what? She wasn't the only girl out there. And after that, I had 6 or 7 other girlfriends that were even better. All right? Because we understood each other. Okay? Do you understand that? Do you understand what I mean by that? So everybody has a sense of focus, a sense of prolificness. Okay? Let's go on with today's lesson. Okay, all right. Focus. All right, let's go on. Airbnb. Has anybody ever heard of Airbnb? Yes or no? Airbnb, have you all heard of this? Okay. Well, okay. Mary, you've heard of Airbnb? Good. Can you tell me what is Airbnb, Mary? Are you there? Okay. Can you tell me, Mary? Can you unmute your microphone? Okay, no problem. Yeah, Mary, what is Airbnb?
Airbnb.
What is it? Do you know what it is?
It's something like it's a holiday homes or something like cabins.
Good, you're on the right track. Thank you, Mary. Okay, let's talk about Airbnb. Airbnb is basically an online service where you can pick somewhere to stay, all right? Airbnb, you can pick somewhere to stay. It could be somebody's home or flat, which you can stay for 1 night, 2 nights, or short term. All right. So they're usually cheaper than hotels, and sometimes they can be more expensive because you can book Airbnb to big mansions in some parts of the world where instead of spending $100,000, you can get them for $20,000 for a week. But usually you're renting these properties from the owner and you're booking them online through the Airbnb website. All right. So Airbnb is one of the most prolific businesses or businesses that have had very early success through being prolific. Okay. So let's talk about Airbnb's early success. Airbnb's founders identified an opportunity in the market for short-term home rentals and took proactive steps to launch their platform. The two guys used to live in an apartment in downtown America and didn't have enough money to pay the rent. So they decided to rent out the room in their apartment through online advertising. They made a lot of money in the first month. So then they decided to make it a business and create a platform. And people, owners, homeowners, and people that have apartments all over the world decided to put their accommodation on Airbnb because it was a new way of making money. Adaptability. As the business grew, Airbnb adapted to changing regulation and expanded its services to include not only normal apartments, normal rooms, but experiences like houses and accommodation in the Eskimo, accommodation in Antarctica, accommodation in luxury rentals, royal mansions in Switzerland. They went from just average one bedroom in a flat or apartment for somebody to stay in for one night or 2 nights. They increased their business platform. So now when you go to Airbnb, you not only find cheap accommodation, but you can find some very exotic, expensive accommodation. Creativity. They came up with innovative solutions, and they came up with very creative pictures of the properties to induce people to go there and endure that experience. They were prepared to take risks by expanding globally and investing in marketing millions of dollars to market their website brand around the world. They had to build brand awareness to tell people, why pay high money for a hotel when you can stay cheaper at Airbnb? And now 60% of young people around the world pay for accommodation through Airbnb. Only business people and people who want to spend more will go to hotels. I personally don't use Airbnb because I like to stay in a branded hotel. All right. My wife loves Airbnb. When we go on vacation, she likes Airbnb, even though she works for a hotel chain, right? Because Airbnb provides different experiences. We can stay in homes in Paris with beautiful balconies, which you can't see from a hotel. So Airbnb took advantage of that market through creativity. So let's go on. Continuous learning. Airbnb went further. Airbnb listened to their customers. They analyzed data from their customers. Airbnb analyzed data, and Airbnb learned from the data. They are adaptable. Through adaptability, every time they heard feedback from their customers, they went to improve that and overcome the feedback, so they retained their customers and were able to outsell their competition. Let's talk about Amazon. Does everybody know Amazon.com? Put your hands up if you know Amazon. Who knows Amazon? Come on, why are all these people just looking at me and not smiling? Medina, why are they scared of me today, Medina? Is it because you're here, Medina, or what? No? All right. All right, you all miss Miss Anu? No. Miss Medina is here. I'm so happy that she's back. All right. I'm sure Miss Anu will be back next week, guys. Don't worry about it. All right. But Miss Anu is even better than Miss Medina. Miss Medina is better than Miss Anu. Look at Miss Medina. Look at her beautiful smile. Okay. They're both beautiful, and they both are excellent colleagues. All right. So regardless of which one's here, I need you to smile, please, girls. Smile. Come on, smile. Medina, smile for them, please. Good on you. Okay, guys. All right. So does everybody know Amazon.com? Yes or no?
Yes.
All right. So Amazon, why do you think Amazon is prolific? Can we put down the slide for a minute, please, Medina? Can I see everyone? Why is Amazon prolific? Can anybody tell me, why do you think Amazon is prolific? Yeah, I know, but I don't want to ask Medina. Thank you very much. Medina knows the answer. Okay, who can tell me, why is Amazon prolific? Christine, can you tell me? Are you there, Christine? Okay, Christine? No? Okay, let's go to someone else. Joyce, Joyce Bikas, you want to tell me, why do you think Amazon is prolific? Go ahead, Joyce.
Hello, sir. Good evening. Good evening to all.
Yeah,
So,
hi.
hello, sir. The Amazon is all you need to know. Like a part of the accessories or the clothes or shoes, all are in Amazon. You can buy or order them, then they can ship to you even you are in other countries. That's
Very
why
good.
the
So
Amazon.
very good. So Amazon are very what we call decentralized. As she said, they're very proactive and they can deliver to any part of the world very quickly. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. So who else can share with me? Christine, do you want to share your thoughts with me? Can you unmute your microphone? Yeah, go ahead, Christine. Why do you think Amazon is prolific? Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, all right, good. So, as Christine mentioned, the reason why Amazon is prolific is because they're reachable by people all over the world. They're able to deliver to all over the world. Thank you, Christine. Okay, let's go to Cheryl. Cheryl Osoy, why do you think Amazon is prolific? Go ahead, Cheryl. Cheryl?
Amazon are terrific because it has successfully diversified. Yeah, that's right. Diversify far beyond its essential identity as online bookstore. Like, uh, its growth for fueled by distinct high growth revenue stream to reinforce the entire ecosystem. Of course, the pricing also. It's like they have a uh, accelerating cycle for the pricing. They have a lower operating costs, enable Amazon to offer even lower pricing. That's why it's become prolific because of its the ecosystem. They become like
Okay.
yeah. That's it, sir.
You're on the right track. Thank you,
Because they
Cheryl.
have
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, good on you, Cheryl. Sorry, Cheryl. Sorry, just finish what you were saying. What was the last thing you said, Cheryl? Please, guys, just wait for Cheryl to finish. What was the last thing you said?
High growth revenue because of stream that reinforce the entire ecosystem. So that's why they become
Okay, good.
more on.
Very good. You're very good, Cheryl. Thank you very much. So what Cheryl has just described are all reasons why Amazon was prolific in being successful. Why did prolificness take Amazon to success? I think Cheryl just summarized it. Okay, can everybody please mute their microphone? Somebody has got their microphone open. Can I'm going to mute everybody because somebody is distracting the whole class. All right, please respect others and mute your microphone. Has the noise gone away, everyone? Yes? Thank you very much. All right. So remember, what Cheryl said is absolutely right. It's absolutely right. What the Cheryl said is that for Amazon to be successful, they have had to be basically innovative. They've had to be creative. They've had to come up with a range of products and competitive prices. And they've had to do basically what the other girl said, Christine said. They've had to access a global market. They have customers all over the world. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Very good. Excellent. Angeline, do you understand that? Angeline Barogo? Okay, do you want to add to that, Angeline? Go ahead. Can you unmute your microphone? Go ahead, Angeline.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
So what
Actually,
else do you
yeah,
think makes Amazon so
actually,
successful?
also that Amazon considered as prolific due to the combination. Actually, they had a combination of customer-centric business model and
Right?
aggressive diversification into high-margin areas, a long-term investment philosophy also, and a relentless focus on operational excellence and innovation.
Thank you
That's it,
very
sir.
much. Thank you. Again, you've stressed some very important words: innovation, creativity, focus, and you've mentioned about their service and their product range. So let me share with you now the real answer to Amazon and their success. And let me tell you that between the four of you, you've mentioned at least six of the points, okay? But there is more to Amazon. Okay, there is more to Amazon. Does everybody know who started Amazon? Does anybody know who the founder of Amazon is? Amazon was founded by a man called Jeff Bezos. Are you there, David? David Basanta, can you hear me? Hi, David. Can you hear me, David? Good on you. It was founded by a man called Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos was an entrepreneur who wanted to create one of the world's largest e-commerce and most successful e-commerce platforms. All right? But Jeff Bezos got a big break when COVID-19 hit the world because Amazon's business multiplied 25-fold. He went from 100,000 to 250,000 customers in a matter of days. Why was Jeff Bezos and Amazon able to handle that? Because Jeff Bezos set up an e-commerce business with warehouses in 20 countries. And he made sure all those warehouses had products that are most commonly sought by people that live in that part of the world. He was adaptable. He was focused, and he knew what each part of the world wanted. He was innovative. He adapted to what we call artificial intelligence and robots in all his warehouses so that products could be picked, packed, and shipped to reach the customer within 3 days, which would mean he would be able to surpass Alibaba or any of the other e-commerce platforms. That's why Amazon became one of the most successful and richest e-commerce platforms thanks to COVID-19. Was it because of the Amazon brand? No, it was because of the elements that Jeff Bezos, through his leadership, brought to Amazon. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Okay, let's go back to my slides. Okay, can everybody see my slide? Yes or no? Okay, so Amazon, the company, let's look at what made Amazon success. Amazon was innovative. Willingness to experiment, innovate, led to groundbreaking services in Prime membership, click ordering, and Alexa. Alexa is Amazon's online answer guide. She is the artificial intelligence AI from Amazon. You can talk to Alexa 24 hours a day. You can ask her whether you're beautiful, and she'll give you a standard answer. Yes, ma'am, you are beautiful. What would you like to buy today? Would you like fashion? Would you like jewelry? Would you like electronics? Alexa will guide you through the Amazon world, all right? That's why they call her Alexa, okay? Risk-taking. Amazon's bold investments in new technologies such as cloud computing, AWS, paid off and created new revenue streams. Remember, Amazon sells not only products to the world, but it has an AWS cloud computing service. And that means people can store their business databases in clouds, AWS server in the cloud, and they pay rental for that server. Now, of course, Amazon's AWS is only sold to corporates or people who need cloud server space, but they were one of the first e-commerce platforms to bring that into the arena, because Amazon knew that around the world they need to build large computer servers to service their business, so they have extra space. Why not sell it? Adaptability. Amazon's ability to adapt to changing market trends and customer needs enabled the company to pivot and expand its new areas like e-commerce streaming services, artificial intelligence like Alexa, which is part of their risk-taking innovation. Okay. All right. So let's go down. Proactivity. Amazon's proactivity approach to identifying opportunities and solving customer problems by having warehouses around the world fitted with robotics that could actually pick, pack, and send the product out to the customer. It is a reality that if Medina today, where she is in India, decides to order from Amazon now, she orders 2 boxes of chocolates for her parents and her husband who love chocolate. The chances are by the time Medina goes to sleep tonight, Amazon's warehouse in India have already packed the chocolate. They've written a note to Medina, bon appetit, enjoy your chocolates. And the chocolates have already left Amazon's warehouse on their way to Medina within 3 days. I guarantee you 99.9% that will be the case with Amazon, thanks to their ability through proactivity. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Yes or no? Very good. Continuous learning. Amazon continuously learns. Amazon never stops learning. Jeff Bezos is one of the world's richest men. Can I say that he is richer than Steve Jobs right now? Hell yeah. But if Steve Jobs was still alive, then Jobs would be richer. But now Jobs is dead. Jobs has passed away. Stephen Paul Jobs has passed away. Steve Jobs is dead. So his wealth will not increase. But Jeff Bezos is the new billionaire or trillionaire of the world because he outdid Steve Jobs with the influx of COVID-19. That's where the company grew 25 times. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Okay. And he continues to learn. On a daily basis, Amazon upgrades its products, improves artificial intelligence through Alexa, who learns every time a customer speaks to her. They bring new products and new ranges to their warehouses all over the world, and continuously they try to reduce their delivery time from 3 days to 1 day in certain markets. All right, so by embracing prolificness, ladies and gentlemen, by Amazon adopting a prolific sense of management through Jeff Bezos, or Apple through Steve Jobs, ladies and gentlemen, or Airbnb through its two owners who were poor guys living in an apartment in New York that needed money to pay for their rent. They were able to disrupt traditional industries, retail and cloud computing, because from the day Amazon came in, people don't go and buy things from retail stores or from supermarkets anymore. My wife does her grocery shopping through Amazon and she gets the groceries delivered within 48 hours. She doesn't have to take a taxi and make Wally go to the supermarket and carry bags of groceries after a long day at work. I haven't got time to it. I lecture till midnight, 1 a.m. every morning. I don't have time to go to a supermarket. So my wife had to become adaptable and learn how to shop online. And I'm sure Medina's the same. She doesn't have time to go to the supermarket. I'm sure she orders online as well. Is that right, Medina? There you go. All right. The other one is they expanded into new markets via web streaming and via artificial intelligence. They built a loyal customer base and maintained a competitive edge. That is Amazon. Singapore Airlines. Does everybody know Singapore Airlines? Yes or no? Come on, guys. Do you know Singapore Airlines? Yes or no? Emily, Irene. Very good. Can anybody tell me what made Singapore Airlines prolific? Does anyone know? Can anyone tell me? No? I don't know if Medina knows. I don't think so, but we'll share anyway. So Singapore Airlines became prolific from day one when it came up with an innovative advertising campaign. When they first started, they never used to advertise "Come fly Singapore Airlines." They never used to advertise "Come fly the great airline." No, they never said "Come fly the friendly skies of Singapore Airlines." They never said "Come fly the new aircraft." They never said "Come fly our 5-star service." No, they came up with the most innovative advertising campaign in the world. They sold the beautiful Singapore girl aboard the Singapore Airlines aircraft. You know that, Medina? Yeah. When Singapore Airlines started, more than 30 years ago or 25 years ago, they used to promote "Come fly the Singapore girl." They never used to show you a picture of their aircraft. They used to show you a picture of the perfectly beautiful perfect skin, perfect face of a Singapore girl, all wearing the same uniform, all looking the same, all with the same hairstyle, all with the same lipstick, all with the same makeup. And that's what attracted people to Singapore Airlines, the friendly smile of the Singapore girl. Now, that wasn't a mistake. They did that intentionally. They were trying to be creative because no other airline had sold their friendly girls in the sky to bring people on board. They were the first airline in the world to do it. And that was part of their innovation and creativity. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Very good. Excellent. Okay, let's go on. Let's talk about Singapore Airlines' prolificness traits for success. It includes an unwavering commitment to service excellence, a strong culture of teamwork, empowerment, relentless innovation, and customer experience, strategic cost leadership, high-quality product offerings. Remember that word? Relentless innovation in customer experience. And that was part of their creativity and spending nearly $1 million on Come Fly the Singapore Girl, which is the campaign through which Singapore Airlines promoted itself for nearly 20 years. Now, that campaign has stopped because now we have women who complained Singapore Airlines is chauvinistic. Why are they using girls to sell the airline? So Singapore Airlines had to pull the plug on that campaign, and now they say, come and fly Singapore Airlines, a great way to fly. All right. And it is because they are one of the most luxurious fleet of aircraft in the world. They have one of the best service experiences in the cabin in the world. In actual fact, if you want to talk about Emirates, when Emirates was started by Sheikh Ahmed in the United Arab Emirates, they learnt from Singapore Airlines. They built an airline based on the Singapore Airlines model. Now you ask me, which airline is bigger by aircraft size? Of course, Emirates. Which airline has more customers based on experience and service? Probably Singapore Airlines. Which airline is more expensive? Singapore Airlines. Because Emirates have placed themselves in a different market. Are they an international airline of recognition? Hell yeah, they're one of the biggest airlines in the world. But different airlines are prolific for different reasons. Do you understand that, everyone? Yes or no? Okay, all right. So let's talk about what did prolificness do for Singapore Airlines? All right, well, not only for Singapore Airlines, what are the positive outcomes of being a prolific company or having a prolific mindset for any company? They are increased productivity, innovation, competitive advantage, growth and expansion, reputation and recognition. All right. These are 5 core ingredients. And I want all of you to make me a promise from today that from today, all of you are going to start living by these. Increased productivity, innovation, have a competitive advantage, be focused on growing your goals and expanding your wealth, and building your reputation and getting recognized in the industry you want to be in. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Very good. Okay, let's talk about the negative consequences of being prolific. Well, I'm sure your girls are going to say, oh, sir, but I don't want to burn out. You won't burn out. Don't let your emotions stop you. Prolific individuals may experience burnout if they push themselves too hard, leading to physical and mental exhaustion. You don't have to burn out, providing you manage your time and still be prolific. We've learned time management before, and we'll be doing time management again in BizTalk in the next few weeks, or probably next month sometime. I've got several messages from people saying, can you teach us time management again? So I promise you we'll cover time management again in November. All right, quality versus quantity. Prolificness can sometimes prioritize quantity over quality. It cannot do that. Prolificness must focus on quality first, innovation, creativity, and productivity. Overcoming or overcommitting, not overcoming. Taking on too many projects or commitments can lead to stress, mislead deadlines or missed deadlines, and decreased productivity. That would be a negative consequence of you being prolific. So if you can't manage time and manage tasks and you don't have a big enough team, your effort to be prolific will fail. Sustainability. Prolificness can be unsustainable if it relies on unsustainable practices or exploits resources. That means you don't have enough people, you don't have the right resources, or you're not listening to the people who work for you. That means you cannot sustain the business. And of course, if you don't listen to your customer, your business will go out of business. Pressure to constantly produce. Well, remember, if you're prolific, you never say no. If you're prolific, you're thinking of the business 24 hours a day. If you're prolific, you have to walk the walk. Remember, not just talk the talk, you have to walk the talk. Do you understand that, everyone? Yes or no? Very good. Overall, ladies and gentlemen, prolificness can be a powerful driver of success. But its essential element is to balance productivity with sustainability, quality, creativity, and well-being. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Let's take the most prolific leader of the 20th century, the one who was definitely left a gold mark on the meaning to the word prolificness. Stephen Paul Jobs. His philosophies on focus, simplicity imply that quality and impact are important, more important than quantity. He famously said, "I'm as proud of many of the things we have not done as the things we have done." Innovation is saying no to thousands of things, and believe that if you focus on too many things, you do none of them well. So Steve Jobs analyzed, he practiced strategic thinking. He didn't take all the ideas and follow them. He strategically thought through ideas and implemented the best of them. Remember, we said that one of the ingredients of being prolific or being a transformational leader is strategic thinking. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, do you all understand the importance of being prolific in order to be successful? Yes or no? Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, David. Thank you, Belinda. Thank you, Bernadette. Thank you, Aileen. Thank you, Angelo. Thank you, Hilgard. Thank you, Lin Nang. Yes, I've got a question. A young lady has raised her hand. I'm sorry, your name is not in English, but you've got your hand up against your head. Would you like to talk to me? Go ahead. Would you like to open your microphone? Go ahead. Hello. Say hello to me.
Hello, my name is Irkinas.
Where are you from?
I'm from Kazakhstan.
Have you enjoyed today's lesson?
Yes, I like this lesson.
Do you think you're going to become prolific from now on?
I don't understand. 1 minute. 1 minute.
Have you understood today's lesson? Do you understand today's lesson?
Yes, I understood.
Very good. I look forward to seeing you at the next BIS talk. And please be prolific, all right? Be
Yes, okay.
prolific. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good
I
on you.
understand.
Excellent. Thank you so much. All right. Would anybody else like to ask any questions about today's session? Okay, I have a question. Maria Maria Michelle. Hi, Maria Michelle. Would you like to open your question? Would you like to open your microphone? Would you like to talk to me? Okay, great to see you. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, does anybody have any doubts about their ability to be prolific? Anybody have any doubts? No? Are you sure? Has everybody enjoyed BizTalk 133? Okay, I need to ask all of you to switch on your cameras for attendance now. I don't care if you're working. I don't care if you're walking on the moon. You need to switch on your cameras so that I make sure you get a certificate. On the count of on the count of three, Miss Medina will record your closing attendance. All right, we must record your attendance with your camera on to ensure, to make 100% sure that you get a certificate. On the count of three, thank you, Roxilian. Thank you, thank you, Roxilaxon. Thank you, Roxilian. Thank you, Aldwin Badola. Thank you, Roseanne. Thank you, Danny Camille. All right, so Medina, can you record attendance, please? 1, 2, 3. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you've enjoyed BizTalk, please tell your friends that next week will be leadership, and the following week, Wally will be back with BizTalk 134. Please tell all your friends, students or former students, to join us for BizTalk. Can you all do that for me? Yes or no? Yes or no? Great. Okay. Okay. Can we all say thank you and wave our hands to Miss Medina? Everybody wave your hands to Miss Medina. Come on. Miss Medina, you want to wave goodbye to all our students here today. Miss Medina, where are you? Great, excellent. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining BizTalk 133. Thank you, Maria Christina. I wish I could do that too. Thank you, Maria Christina. I love you all. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being part of BizTalk 133. And I hope that you will become prolific in your behavior and your actions. Remember, prolificness is not just about business. Prolificness is about the way you behave in everyday life. If you can be prolific in your individuality, in being an individual, you can actually bring that into business or the job you hold. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Thank you. Thank you for everybody for joining BizTalk 133. We look forward to seeing you all in the coming days at the next BizTalk. Miss Medina, I think we will share the link to today's lesson. Miss Medina, can we put the link in the chat box, please, in case somebody wants to read it tonight? Okay, I am putting the link in the chat box for you now, guys. Just one moment, please. Okay, here we go, everyone. Can everybody go to the chat box and I'll put the link. One moment, please. Okay, the link is now in the chat box, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to download the lesson. I've just shared it. Thank you. Xiom Mim Ong, I've just shared the link and I'm sharing it again. Okay, thank you. You will also get a copy of this material together with your certificate, provided you were in the session from the beginning to the end and providing you switched your camera on for attendance. Okay, any questions before we go tonight? Thank you, everybody, for being at my BizTalk. Can everybody wave goodbye to Wally and show me your hearts or whatever to show me that you enjoyed